Wait, what? Who dat? Welcome to another episode of Just Ask Cher Live. And I bet you're wondering, who is this? Who this? Just the hair. It's a little bit straight. Trying to do something new in this whole COVID-19 thing. I got to change stuff up, at least momentarily. So there's a whole story behind this mini transformation, if you will, or alteration. We're not going to call it transformation. I'm still the same Cher. But today, in this episode, we are talking all about how to differentiate your brand. And you can do that with many things like hair and all that good stuff and so much more. So let's go. We're going to dive deep into that. And as well, my scroll stopper is pretty hot. I'm going to show you how leveraging LinkedIn for business doesn't always have to mean corporate. So all of you artists out there, all of you creative types who have things to sell, maybe it's your side hustle, maybe it's something you want to do, you're going to want to stay tuned for this example because this artist on LinkedIn is doing it right and they're making a lot of money doing it. So I'm going to break that down to you as well. And of course, tap that app, 2Ps. I am going to bring to you something that has been rocking my world all week and has nothing to do with branding. Yeah, nothing. Nothing to do with branding, marketing, social media, but I have been loving it every step of the way. So before I go any further, you know what I just noticed, right? I remembered the timer, as I usually do at some point in the show, but I didn't start it. So we got to do that, don't we? And while I am starting my timer and then doing my next thing, which is checking to see if you guys are online, if you're watching, if this is actually happening, if you are watching, the thing that I want to know, are you team live or team replay? And of course, where you're from. Believe me when I say it doesn't matter if you watch live or the replay. I'm just glad you're on my team. I love you guys, and I'm so happy to be doing this show every single week. And this is like episode number 38 or 39. I've lost count, but I got to recalibrate the count for episode 40. So I'm going to do that. But in the meantime, let me know what's up. Let me know, are you online? Are you watching? Are you watching Team Live? Let's see. Are you watching Team Replay? Like I said, it doesn't matter to me as long as you're watching. And so, let's see. Will LinkedIn tell me? It looks like we are good to go. Okay. So, let's see who is online. Precious says she's excited. Thank you, Precious. I'm excited today too. Nicole, hey, Cher, I'm here for it. I love it. And Christine, hey. Trudy says she loves my hair. Stephen Singleton says, love your hair. And actually looking great. That's what Stephen Singleton said. That's really important to me. Okay, Diana says, hey, Cher. Oh my gosh, I will have to listen to you on the replay. I just thought you were chilling today. That was yesterday. So yesterday, if those of you who are connected to me on a regular basis, you might have noticed my post where I just needed a little social break. And that social break did wonders. So I'm back excited with all this energy. And David says, hello, Cher, looking good. Andy is team live. Richard says, hey, Cher, hope you're well. Yes, Richard, I'm well. Thank you. Marcello says natural is good. So those of you who follow me over on Instagram, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, follow me on Instagram, ITS Cher Jones. It's Cher Jones. This weekend, I had a little bit of a meltdown because if you look really closely, there's something different going on. So I ended my love affair with my lashes. I have not seen these eyes by themselves since 2013. 2013. It was actually kind of like a part of my brand, in a way, at least in my head. Anyways, I've always been getting like lash extensions, okay? And then, listen, there's no lash lady. There's no Wendy. Wendy's my lash lady. Love her. Been with her since 2013. There's none of that anymore. So they finally came off. And it was like, guys, if you guys shave your beards, you recognize that you might not be looking at the same face when you shave your beard as opposed to what you're used to. Same thing with lashes. So that was basically the overcompensation with the hair. Said, I gotta do something new, gotta distract from the eyes up. But it was definitely a challenging experience. So I shared that on Instagram, on my stories. So these are the kind of things that I share on the other side of being social, right? It's all me, just a different angle. But anyways, yeah, still getting used to it. Not loving it, but I got to. So I've been looking at Alicia Keys, and she's been a little bit of a role model for me because she just looks fabulous and she's not trying to be extra. And my eyelashes were very extra and I loved every single lash. But this is what we're working with right now. Anyways, Dr. Nicole says, I look forward to these. Trudy saying, loving the hair. Transformation is looking good. Thanks, Steve. And yeah, Althea, I'll reach out to you. And Team Live from Terry in Missouri. Patrick says hi. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Patricia, Team Live in Vegas. Bertina's Team Live. David's Team Live in the ATL. And Steve is in Chicago. Okay, so as more of you guys hop in, you know, I appreciate you more than you know. And let's see, make sure that no sound comes up. And I think my friends, oh, look at more people. See, this is what happens when I jump in and I get to see more of you guys. This is awesome. Oh, Trudy says my skin's looking great and she didn't even notice the lashes. Thank you, Trudy. There have been just, you know, special people supporting me and just encouraging me, and I really appreciate that. Anyways, let me jump in right now and ask you this important question. Do you feel like you stand out enough online? Your personal brand. When you show up on LinkedIn, do you feel, or anywhere for that matter, do you feel like you stand out enough? And this is a huge question. I'm going to stop talking with my hands for just a second. And this is a huge question that, oh yeah, because the nails are not done either. Anyways. Let me know, comment yes or no down in the comments, of course, because this is something that we all have to think about as we build this personal brand of ours. How do we stand out? Well, like I said, this is what we're talking about today, differentiating your brand, standing out online in a way that actually helps you move an inch towards your goals, not just to stand out for the sake of standing out. Because let me tell you, there are ways that you can do that quick, fast, and in a hurry. But the question is, do you want that kind of attention? So in this episode, I'm going to break down 6 ways that can help you stand out. So I'm going to jump in the comments right now. I want to see where you guys are at. Maybe it's a meh, maybe a little bit yes, no. Let's see. Okay. Daniel says no. Don't worry, Daniel. We're working on that. Thanks, Sean, just glowingly. Yes, because I have fun and you're creative. I love that, Steve. That's important. I feel like I'm kind of yelling. I'm sorry, guys. Burke says definitely not. And Trudy says definitely an opportunity to do better. Everybody does, me included. Don't worry. Terry says nope. Chad says hey. Arwen says looking for the insight. So yes, I'm coming with the insight, Arwen. I got 6 tips for you, baby. I got you. All right. So let's jump in right now as you guys continue. Kim Chowder says, yes, I love it. 3 hand in the air. I love it. Oh, Katisha, thank you. You look ravishing. I know you are a beautiful soul, which reflects on your beautiful face. Wearing that positive confidence, girl. Cheers for Cher. How can I pass by that comment and not say a thing? You guys are awesome. Tim says you work on Facebook. Work in progress. Good on Facebook. And that's it, right? You gotta, and this is what's really, sorry, my hair is getting hot. Anyways, and there goes my earring. Okay, we're gonna kind of pull that up in the scenes underneath. Yeah, I got it. Anyways, that's the thing is like, you also can rock your brand best on one platform because unless you have a team of people creating content for you, working your brand for you, it makes it very difficult. I'm not saying it's impossible, but for me, I slay in my lane on LinkedIn and then I'm elsewhere using them as connection tools, relationship building tools. So those are the other networks. But anyways, I'm, running down on my time, so I want to make sure I deliver the goods. All right. So how to differentiate your brand. Tip number 1. Some of them are going to be easier than others, but they all help in the grand scheme of things. So I want you to evaluate your brand and determine where best you can put your efforts in your brand. So this one was interesting, and why I put it first is because you can differentiate yourself with your clothing, your style, your hair, the things you wear. We have a lot of personal branding experts who actually are in the stylist mode, so they truly can help you transform your brand and how you show up and the type of clothes you wear, making sure that it resonates with the right audience, especially for those of you in corporate and want to show up more polished and more professional. Sometimes that means changing up your look and changing it up in a way that makes sense for you. And then there are other people who will add something to their brand. So for example, Daryl, who is always in the comments, whether he's here right now, that's okay. But he's known as the bow tie guy. So when you see him online or you see him offline, he's always wearing a bow tie. And he told me when I was on his podcast that one time he didn't wear it and everybody's like, where's the bow tie? People he doesn't even know are asking him, where is the bow tie? So there is a caveat to that. Another caveat, and then this is why I put this one first, is you guys know me with curly, crazy hair. And today it's a completely different look. And while most people will be like, yeah, okay, that's Cher, but it's like this image that you have of me, and then I've disrupted that. So sometimes when you attach style to your brand, you just have to recognize that when you want to switch it up a little bit, it becomes difficult to do in some senses. Like, I mean, you don't have to hold yourself to it, but it is a decision. So there may be, for me, when I'm speaking on stage, I almost always wear dresses. I don't know, it's a thing. But what's interesting is like when I'm on this show, I'm almost always in some sort of t-shirt. I think that was a budget thing. But anyways, but ultimately, you can use your style, how you show up in front of your clients, how you show up on stage, how you show up online through your content with your photos, showcasing a personal style, right? Maybe even choosing an iconic style and adopting that as your own, whatever it is. So that's number 1, okay? Number 2 is your colors, your fonts, and your graphics. This is really important. So for those of you who use Canva, it is worth it to upgrade to the pro version because you can make sure that as you're creating graphics or as you are creating your graphics, your images, your website, all that stuff, that there's a continuity between that. And there's so much science around color science, which colors you choose, what they mean, and how you want them to reflect and resonate with your target audience, that's really important. Also, even the graphic style. I remember when I first started doing my Just Ask Cher videos, so not the live, but the videos, I almost always used Bitmojis. It was just kind of my thing. In fact, if you go on my Instagram, it's Cher Jones. After the show. Go on my Instagram. You'll see that I still love a good Bitmoji because all of my highlight covers all have the Bitmoji version of me. So that was a graphic style that I chose. Also, when you think about an editing style, my editing style was very fast-paced. It was a jump cut style. It was very quirky, which still comes across in real life. So at the end of the day, it's those colors, the fonts, how you edit, how you show up in your graphics, those things, especially when there's consistency. So I do the whole purple thing. You can see that gold was actually a new thing that I started introducing into my brand with this show. So you have to be consistent. Know your color codes, so that when you are either working with a graphic designer or using Canva, you're making sure you're using the correct color. A little color goes a long way, okay? All right, so next one is, this is where it begins to be about you. So those were all, those both ones at the top, those were superficial. The next one is niching and positioning. So I'm going to do a show all about niching because I know a lot of people struggle with this. But there are, don't want to go that far yet. And, okay, so the niching and positioning thing, and it's driving me crazy that my graphics are a little too the wrong way. But anyways, I'll get over it. This is my perfectionism coming through, and I have to bless and release. That's what I got to do right now. Okay, so niching and positioning. So this really comes down to how are you who is it you serve? What is it you want to differentiate about you? Because there are so many, for example, let's use me for example, because it's the easiest one for me to think about right now. I'm a social media trainer. There are tons of social media trainers. You don't need to go to university to be a social media trainer. You didn't need to take a course. You didn't need to do anything like that. So how do I niche down? Well, one of the things that's really important for me is I introduce myself, and you know what? I haven't even introduced myself. I am a corporate social media trainer that specializes in the personal brand for business. So I work with teams as well as entrepreneurs, and I help them develop a powerful personal brand online so they can use social media at work for work. And it's all about that corporate space. So what I did is I niched. I pulled in my lane, and I said, this is what I do. So I had to differentiate by adding something to a common title that everybody would put me under an umbrella for, or put me in a box for. And it's okay to be put in a box when you want to be found. I know a lot of people bristle at, being a title, but this is what people are searching for. So I can't be the chief social officer because no one's looking for the chief damn social officer. They're looking for the social media trainer that can help their team. And I'm a corporate social media trainer, which is very specific. So the next thing you have to think about is your positioning. So knowing that I'm a corporate social media trainer, knowing that I play in the corporate space, who is the audience that I need to resonate with? How do I need to position myself so that they respect not only what I do, but how do I bring in my experience, bring in what I know, and position it in a way that validates my credibility and my experience. So that the same things I'm going to ask you. How are you shifting your experience so that people recognize your niche? How are you differentiating so you're not just a title? Get down in there into the niche. And like I said, next week's episode, promise, will be all about niching. So I'll dive deeper in that, because the beauty of niching is the further you get into what it is you do, you know what you don't do. And that is equally important. Okay, so positioning is all about resonating, right? And you know what? Let's take a quick break, dive into the comments, see what you guys are saying, and then we'll come back for another 3. I'm acting like as if I'm going to a commercial break. Okay, so let's see what you guys have to say. So jump in the comments right now. Let me know. Shelly says, very important for brand identity. Diana says, love the look. Love you're talking about how to differentiate your brand. Such an important area to double down on. Preach, sister. And Precious, I love it. We have to stop making up positions and use the keywords our audience would look to find our services. Exactly. And I'm of the mindset, and I mean, there are a lot of people who specialize in LinkedIn here. What I say is not gospel, is just what I know works for the people I work with. And one of the things that I like more than anything else is to see in the headline is to see your title first, and then whatever differentiating positioning statement that you wanted to make afterwards. It is so important, because people at the end of the day, the first thing they're doing is they just want to know what it is you do. I know it sounds so like I'm not just my title, but seriously, right now, sometimes that's all you are, until you differentiate by telling them what you do. But they need to know that information first. Let me see your question. Terry, are Bitmoji available for use in your branding? I wonder. I believe so. I've seen it so many times that I don't know. I think it is, but that is backed in nothing other than I think, and I've used it and I didn't care. But probably not in commercial branding, but individual personal branding, I would say it's worth it. Um, Oh, and Terry says my glasses may be that for her. Yeah, no, totally. And Marcello says I need to reset my brand impact in LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Yes, and you just need to find exactly the positioning that you're going for because you have a multi-brand, Marcello. So especially with the music side of your career and plus the professional side of what you do, you have to be able to blend that. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. I've had conversations about this. So Martin says you can have an audio brand by what you say consistently, either at the beginning or end of your podcast or at the end. Yes, you can. And you can take that a little bit further by using a very specific sound. For example, dun-dun, Netflix, right? HBO sound. We know that sound. It's like we're Pavlov's dogs. We're like, Netflix, right? We know those sounds. So you can find a sound that works for you. So that's as well. So it's that verbal branding that you constantly say that people get you and remind and it's about your niche and positioning as well as sounds. Hey Whitney, yeah, come check the full show later on. Love it that you stopped by. I appreciate it. Okay. Let me see if I'm missing anything. So sometimes, guys, I apologize. Sometimes the comments, that's where I wanted to go, don't always show up, but that's okay. I'll get back to you guys later, I promise. Next, tone and language. Language, for those of you who watch Avengers. Anyways, I'll let that go. That's my nerdiness coming out. But language is very important for everyone. So tone, first of all. So as you can see, I have a very conversational tone to myself. If I were to write at a high level academic style and then come on my show and speak like this, there would be a bit of a brand disconnect. So that's what you need to be careful as well, is to make sure you sound like you through your content. That doesn't mean conversational, by the way. I know a lot of people are very afraid of it at first, but conversational doesn't necessarily mean unprofessional. In fact, you can be very conversationally professional. It's word choice and language, but there's a flow to it. And there's a connection level to it. So also language. For some people, believe it or not, swearing works for their brand. Language. But most people know. But again, the language that you choose, the language that your audience would speak to you with. We worry too much about jargon, but sometimes there are certain things where jargon is actually okay because your target audience gets it. Right? So if you're going right in, you know your niche or niche, right? And you want to get in and they get the jargon, if you will. Sometimes it's okay to go all in. I'm just saying. So those are things to think about as well. And content, topic, and style. So your topics, for example, what you talk about and how you show up, how you put that content out matters. So when you put the spit and polish on your content, when people are like, you know what? Cher does a really good show. Let's just talk about me for a second. But seriously, like you expect a certain level, a certain quality when you tune into my show. You just do. So this really matters. And of course, the content topics that I talk about are all relevant to the work that I do and what people know me for. So it's really important that you're thinking about what you want to be known for. Do you need to slay in just one singular lane and only talk about one thing? Absolutely not. But you don't want to be all over the map that, you're a jack of all trades and a master of none. You don't want to be that, but you can spread it out a bit, right? You just have to be intentional about it. And also, again, be very mindful of your style, how you present that content, what you say. Perhaps even there's a templated format. So this is another tip within style, is templating so that your content is consistent with its look and feel, going back up to the graphics and the colors. But again, that style and what you put into it really matters, okay? Hope you guys like this so far. And of course, this is probably one of the best opportunities to differentiate your brand, believe it or not, is in the brand experience with you and your consistency in delivering that brand experience. So what am I talking about at the personal brand level? This really, if I were to expand on it a little bit more, it's about the relationships that you're building. How people, even that first connection, that experience that you make connecting with you an experience. You make the time to show up in the content, in the comments. You make the time to connect. You build those relationships and you create an experience of trust and credibility by how you show up. And of course, consistency. So you guys know Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my time. That's when I'm live. Whether you guys are watching, and again, my LinkedIn audience is like, those of you guys are my babies, but on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Facebook, I know you guys are watching too, and I appreciate you. But you guys know I have made an appointment with you. I have communicated that with you so you know what to expect. So that consistency, even though technically I drop 1 to 2 pieces of content a week, if one for sure, and that's this show. But I show up every week. You expect me, you look for me, and then again, coming back to, you know that you can expect the type of content that resonates with my brand and you, so you know what to expect when you show up for a show, and then again, that quality that you expect. So you see, all these things feed into how you differentiate with your brand. So I want you to look at these things. I want you to look at your style, your color, your fonts, your graphics, how you've positioned yourself within your niche, and how you're how you're positioning yourself within the niche. Your tone and your language matter, your content topics and style matter, and how you show up regularly and the experience that people give you. That is how you differentiate on the personal brand level. So I hope you guys found that helpful. I am jumping in, of course, to my comments to see what y'all have to say. All right. Nicole, of course, I saw the word inspiration. My eyes are like, what? Cher, you were an inspiration to me for my revamped profile. Appreciate all that you do. Oh, Nicholas. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate that. And Trudy saying, school us. And let me see. Let me jump in deeper now. Christopher Kata says, consistency too. Being sure to use the same style all the time lets your audience sync with your style. Brilliant. Yes, Winston. New hair. All right. And Keith says, I deliver every time. I appreciate that, Keith. Relevance and adding value are key with content. Absolutely. And here's what I say to you guys all the time. Every time you put out content, every single time, do not take it for granted. You're basically creating a trust agreement with your audience. They are trusting you to deliver at the level that you have been delivering. So the minute you break their trust with BS content, whack content, all that stuff, it was like a little waste of their 3 seconds for clicking in. They don't trust you as much the next time. So you got to show up right and be consistent and be very cognizant of that brand experience that you want people to have with you, because that brand experience converts into opportunities because you've built trust. You show up like you show up. So that's really important. Christopher Lawrence says, great points. I appreciate that. Yes, Sean, you got it. Building trust through showing up. I got it. Okay. And Terry, this is her first time watching. So helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Shelly Ann says, followers, audience, readers should know what to expect and when. Helps build loyalty. Absolutely. And that's always been, guys, it's always been my thing. It's always been about setting that appointment. Even when I was just doing videos, I would say new videos every Thursday. And I would remind my audience so they knew when to expect something new. And when I didn't post, y'all better believe that people were in my inbox saying, hey, Cher, where's the video? I'm waiting. Where's the video? Because I made an appointment with you guys. Yes. Okay. So, guys, of course, I'm running out of time because I got so much to say. But anyways, let me know what you guys are thinking. Did this resonate with you? Do you see opportunities to switch up your brand? Let me know. Give me like a like or a heart. You know, I love my hearts. Or a little of applause. Or did you get an idea? Or are you just curious about what you can do with your brand? I don't care. I just absolutely get super excited. Clearly, it doesn't take much, but I get super excited when I see you guys responding to what I have to say. So I'm already seeing the hand clapping, the love. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, guys, you guys make my day. Thank you very much. I appreciate you more than you know. But of course, there's still more show to go. The scroll stopper. Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this in 1 minute? Okay, timer's going to stress me out. One day I will get the timing right. But I promise not to take too much of your time. Scroll stopper. Guys, if there is anybody who is an artist, a creative professional, you create things with your hands, you're going to love this, okay? This scroll stopper is absolutely dope. So let me go full screen for a second. And it's brought to you by Casey Lynn Hancock. She is an artist out of LA. And she does custom artwork, and she's a full designer, and she has some great content. And while we're at it, let's just notice a few things. I want you guys to see this. Even she's branded herself in her photo. So you see that she has paint on her face. So you don't always, let me look at you all for a second. You don't always have to have this perfect professional photo. You want a good photo that represents your brand. Talk to Nick Nelson. He can help you out. But anyways, back to the scroll stopper. All right. So in this scroll stopper, let's take a look at what we're looking at here right now. Right here. So, Casey, what she's done, and I'll show you, I will bring it up on the web. So excuse the mess. All right. So this is what her feed looks like. So basically what she's done here is she has this red dot, which I'm going to talk about in a second. She's saying this one is already sold and will be going to Arizona very soon. I just have a few things left to finish before I ship it. The painting is for 24 by 24 inch canvases that will be displayed with a 1 inch gap between each canvas. My client wanted a painting that represents his 4 children. Each piece displays the zodiac sign of that child. I will be sure to post a photo when it's completely finished. And at the bottom, follow at Casey Paintings on Instagram for live updates. Also check out caseypaintings.com to see more of my art or to get a quote on custom painting. Thank you for your support and for sharing my artwork. Okay, so this is what we're doing as far as what you're seeing right here. You're seeing her in her work. She looks fab. But you're seeing her work still gets top notch. And I just want you guys to look at that. So now let's get to my notes here. Okay. So the first thing is that red dot. That is what made me stop. Okay. And what was really interesting, it literally stopped me. It's like, what is that red dot? Because it's not the stop sign, which we've seen, stop scrolling. It's just that red dot. So that made me click in, to be honest. Right. And I noticed that when I went into her activity, all the ones that were sold had a red dot. And these are 3 different paintings. So I thought, wow, what she's doing right here, she's training her audience that this means sold. And that also tells me, that signals that she is busy. So guys, when you think about that, she is training her audience to know that she's selling and people are buying. More people will buy from you when they know other people are buying from you. It's just this weird thing called human nature. All right, jumping back in here, okay? So get rid of that. The next thing, she is unapologetically selling her talent, which is awesome. Okay, I really liked just what she's doing. And then she also, so again, telling people that she's sold, right? So if we look at, actually, yeah, you look at that, again, sold, right? So we're going to come back to this in just a second. But she also tells her story. She tells a story about how it's going to be used and a client bought it and how it's going to be displayed. So I really thought that was special. right? And then she also invites you to go follow her on IG so you can see the behind the scenes. So she knows what to post here on LinkedIn. And then she goes, she tells you where to get the rest of the story. Kind of like what I was talking about earlier today when I was like, hey, if you want to know why I've got no lashes and why I did the hair, well, I shared that on the weekend. So anyways, that being said, telling you to follow on IG. Next thing, the branded blues. So this was very strategic why I chose this one. So let me just go back over here. And what I want to show you again is you'll see she wears a lot of blue. She's wearing blue. And there's always a hint of blue. Do you see this? So this is a color choice. This is a very purposeful color choice for her. Do you see this? Blue. There's always some sort of blue unless it's black and white. Blue. So again, very purposeful. Love what she's doing. And I just think it's a very cool opportunity to just inspect. So remember these tips because they got my attention. And for those of you who've never seen a scroll stopper before, it's anything that stops my thumb. And that Casey, the artist, did just that. All right. So coming up next, tap that app, baby. Tap that app. And before I do that, I'm going to dive into the comments, see what you guys are saying. Do you guys agree with me on Casey? Let me know. Okay. And just looking to see if there's any comments. Sometimes, guys, I'm sorry if they don't show up. Kim says, great nuggets. And Daniel says, you are dead on. Remember to be in the shoes of your audience. Mary says she likes my look. Yes. Michelle says, yes, I am always on my purple. And look at you in your picture. You are on your purple indeed. I love it. Okay. So guys, let me know. And if I'm not seeing your comments, they're just not showing up, but that's okay. I appreciate you anyway. So I will jump in the comments after. But now, like I said, tap that app, 2Ps. This app has been rocking my walk because, no gyms, no nothing. So I got to get out there. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm kind of competitive with myself. So I was using my Fitbit, right? But in addition to that, I found this app. And it has been the best thing ever. And it's making me so competitive with myself. So let me show you what it is right now. Okay, it's called Map My Walk. All right, mapmywalk.com. It's by Under Armour. And it will map your walking route. And it will also tell you how fast you're walking per mile or per kilometer. And then it will give you every kilometer or every mile you reach, it will tell you how much time, and it will give you the average of split your time, all that stuff. And that's for the free version. That's what I'm using right now, and I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. It makes me walk faster because now you have this little thing telling you, hey, this is how long it took you to walk this kilometer or mile. And now you keep your pace. So guys, it's been game changing for me. I absolutely recommend it. And I'm going to jump in now to let you guys know again, get that app. Tell me what you think. It has been rocking my walks. I'm just saying. I am going at a good clip. So let me just see if there's any comments in there. And then Shanae says, Casey was great. Junaid says, such amazing insight. I'm going to be talking about Junaid just a second. So you hang in there. Tamar says, great content. And go Nick. Of course, go Nick. Go Nick did that my pictures because Nick is the best. So of course, but guys, I want to remind you, don't miss a post. So make sure you're following the hashtag JustAskShare later on tonight. Just search that hashtag. You will find me and you are more likely to be updated when I post. As well, guys, if you made it this far, seriously, you made it this far, sharing is caring. So make sure you share this episode with your friends, with your network, because I try to give you guys the goods every week. Every week I try to hook you up. So sharing is caring, my friends. And of course, coming up next, for those of you who are hanging around online all night, in about 15 minutes, me and Junaid are going to be hanging out on his live. And he is absolutely awesome. So it's linked insomnia for all those people who love to stay up late. He's doing it a little bit earlier for me because he's got love for his girl, and I appreciate it because we linked in pals. That's what I'm saying. So we're going to be hanging out together, and I look forward in like 15 minutes to be hanging out with him. So if you want to watch, go connect with him right now in the comments. Find him because I'm going to be on live on his show, and it's so cool because I don't have to do anything. I just get to talk. I'm a little challenged with talking, you're right. But anyways, let me jump now. Of course, if you guys do have any questions, let me jump back into the comments just one more time to see. Yeah, it's called Map My Walk. And Kalisa says, I appreciate your dedication. Map My Walk. That's what it is, Stephanie. And then Steve says, you should check out Charity Miles. Every walk, run, hike can make money for a charity. Oh, I definitely will have to add another one. So this is awesome. Let me see. So thank you guys so much. And that is it. So next week, like I said before, it's all about the riches are in the niches. Calm down. But the riches are in the niches. That's what I should have said. But I was so focused on the word I shouldn't say. But anyways, that's what next week is all about. In the meantime, I appreciate you joining me tonight. For those of you who want to come over to the after party, I'm going to be doing that just now. So connect with Junaid, and we will see you in 15 minutes or next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking all about the niches or niches, depending on where you're from. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will definitely see you on the next episode.